For me, I would say it's a very trustworthy investment company that you run. Very trustworthy. When I was coming in, the process was very simple, very simple. The level of integrity that you guys have shown is top class. The level of integrity that you guys have shown, it's world class. The fear people will normally have about investment, you take all of that fear away with how trusted you people are and how much you can discuss with the prospective investors. I remember we spoke on phone for a very long time. So I would say you guys are very, 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 very trusted, very, very, very trusted company. So
thank you, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Pastor Egosa. So, what are you telling other people, our viewers? Because some people are nurturing or entertaining that fear. People want to invest, they want to put their money where their heart is, but they are yet to put their heart before they put their money. So, what's your advice to them?
For me personally, I would say the fear. Any person who has ever listened to Dr. Steven when he teaches on investment, he always talks about doing your due diligence. So when you check on Gvest and check on the credibility, anybody can tell that this is not a Ponzi scheme. This is not, the track records are there. So the track records are there. From the Google form to the signatures that you have to sign, the terms and conditions. I mean, it's that credible. Then you keep seeing the company posting details every time on social media, on their website. I mean, I've never heard of an investment platform that has an app. So, I mean, the app just makes it more credible. The app just makes it more credible that there is a Gvest app that somebody, so I would say there is no need for that fear, not just from a spiritual angle, because I know that Dr. Steven is a very disciplined and spiritual man, and also this organization, from the way he talks, from his videos, his coaching sessions, you know that they are principled. They are very principled. So for me, there was really no fear. It's just about how much can somebody invest and to keep investing.
What I would tell anybody is that before you do any investments, you have to do your due diligence, like Dr. Steven Akitayo will always say, do your background check. Like I will always tell anybody for free, investment is good and it's awesome. And doing investment with Gvest has been awesome. It has been wonderful for me. I think I stumbled on Dr. Steven a couple of years back during the COVID-19 on the Facebook. And ever since I've been following him. And when the investment opportunity came up, I keyed into it in 2021, October to be precise. And it has been good. I've got my return. It's awesome. I will encourage anybody in diaspora to do it. Remove the fear. Gvest is 100% guaranteed. I did the first investment. I started working on the second investment. And I think the first investment, sorry, for point of correction, it was in March. I did the first investment, 9th of March 2021. By October of that same year, 4th of October, I did the second investment with them. And I've had no regrets. I know before the year runs out, I'm getting something again.
I'm particularly excited about the testimony from some of us who have spoken. If you still want to share your testimony, please, I will employ the president to give people more time to share testimony. Because for me, the testimony is key. And I know it encourages a lot of our team members because they go through a lot to make sure the company works well. You know, it's not easy to run business in Africa. It's not at all. What some of the investors don't know is that some of the years we kept paying returns, we had losses, you know, but integrity was important because, of course, you know what has happened like you invested in 2021, you know what has happened with inflation, what has happened with, of course, the economy of Nigeria. But for us, it was that integrity matters. We needed these people. Many had to invest that money through one tough way or the other. And for we must make sure that we deliver on what we had promised you. And so I'm happy for you taking your time to share your testimony with us. We want to hear more from others as well. The good news I want to share is that GTEx is expanding, massively expanding. Next year, we're going to be, I'm personally going to be partially relocating to the US. We're attempting to do massive real estate investment in the US. We'll be launching many estates in the US. We'll be buying a lot of multi-family homes in the US next year. So it's a huge investment. Now, back in Nigeria as well, we are fully launching into housing. I know probably the team has been sending you videos for Jasper Ibejuleki and Jasper Abuja. We are now ready to sell houses, and we're still launching 3 more estates this year before this year runs to an end. So we're growing, we're pushing harder, we're opening new markets. Ghana is our next box stop. We're opening in Ghana, but it's just going to be houses that we'll be building there. We're entering Zambia as well. So a lot of my African tours, I'm also using it to look at places where there are opportunities and the opportunities that we need to maximize. And we've seen so much opportunity to expand across Africa. We've enjoyed goodwill. We have a lot of mentees in those places who have already started. So we're not even scared that maybe somebody will swindle us as we enter new markets, because we already have mentees who are already big in those markets. And it's such a joy to just, proceed and take things to that next level. However, 2 things I want to employ of those of us who are already existing investors, things that we want to work with existing investors with. Number 1, we need you to help us grow what we are doing. So let me explain to you. Right now, we need about $20 billion between now and the year 2035 for the golf courses, for the polo club, for the 25,000 green and smart homes that we're building. And I need you to know that somebody will say, but why is that important? It's important that a homegrown company grows. I was sharing this in Kenya yesterday. I had a book signing with them. I said one of the reasons why we're not growing in Africa is when we see a big business in Africa, right? Or a rich man in Africa. Number 1, we hate them for being rich. Number 2, we think we shouldn't patronize them. And what we fail to realize is that every big business is not the individual that own the business that is the issue. It's the people who work in the system. Anytime you invest in GTEx, it means you have paid school fees of children of the staff of GTEx. It means you have paid salaries of those who work in GTEx. It means that the orphans, we pay their tuition fee. We have a massive scholarship program we do. It means you are part of that. You're making that possible. We started a grant, a $5 million grant, in the next 5 years to 1,000 entrepreneurs, giving them $5,000 to support them. You are also joining in making that happen. But more importantly, you're also changing the perception of the Black race. Because show me any successful Black man. It's always the issue of, it was government money. It was politician money. Now, if you don't want them to use government money, if you want them to do it legitimately, then you have to invest, because every business grows through high investors, right? So if you say, don't use dark money to grow businesses, then you that you have good money have to invest. So one of the things we have decided to do, and this is the first time we're doing it in the history, is that any existing investor that refer anybody to us will be entitled to 2% commission on on whatever the new person is investing in. However, if they decide to say, I don't want the 2% commission, then guess what? They will be getting extra, what? 3% added. Extra 3% added to their own investment. I don't know if you think this is cool. If you think this is cool, can you clap? So is either you say, oh, I'll give an example. My friend is investing with Gvest 100 million. Okay? Now, is either, but you refer the person. So is either we give you 2% of the 100 million, or we give you 3% of that on your own investment. Right? So in other words, making it more. In fact, for some transaction, it depends on how big your friends are doing. So we're hoping that we start with 3%. Some of our it is only for existing investors. Some of our existing investors will even add 5% extra commission, right? Extra percentage on the investment you are doing with us. So by the time you are to get your next return on investment, let's assume you are supposed to be getting 14% returns. We have added 5% more. What that means is that you're getting 19% because you brought people to the business. If you think that's a cool idea, please let us know. Come on. And please, Mr. President, if you can do a flyer for this as well and send it to all our existing investors. Because we want to encourage them. Number two, good news to all our existing investors is that on your next investment, if you are doing extra new investment with us, which I encourage you to do, we are giving you extra 2% on what you are normally supposed to get. So let's assume when you invest 100 million, you get, I'm just giving an example, 20% return on investment. I'm just giving an example. Because you are doing a new additional investment of 100 million, you will now be getting 22% instead of the normal 20% we're giving everybody else. Okay, if you think that's cool, come on. Show some excitement if you think that's cool. Now, another special good news, but this one, I don't have the details yet. Are you ready? Come on, everybody type ready. This is for existing investors, not for, okay? So type ready. Come on, existing investor. 2024, we will be announcing 10 vacations that existing investors will be getting as much as 25%, in some cases 35% discounts, okay, on vacation. Some of you have been working all your life and you're already looking older than you should, okay? And it's because you are not going on vacation, you are not resting. So I'm making that compulsory. And the beauty about the vacation is not just fun. We'll be bringing great speakers on money matters, on family matters, on marriage issues, on business, on career, growth, that will be joining us in those vacations and will be sharing a lot with us. Okay, so that you'll be getting details, from next week. They'll be giving you details of those trips, and they will be telling you the discount you're enjoying because you're a Gvest investor. So we're doing boat cruise. Chop the life, because if you are making money and you're a smart investor, you deserve to live the life. Okay, now that you've worked so hard and then you are not enjoying that you've invested. So these are some of the good news that I have for you guys. Are you excited? If you're excited, type I'm excited. Okay. Now, for those who are intending investors, my advice to you is join the club so that you can start enjoying this benefit. The final good news for existing investors. I told you today, my conversation is very much focused. We want to spoil our existing Gvest investors. And we are hoping you will reward this, right? Like I told you, we need money. And I'm not kidding you. Okay? We need money. There's so much we're trying to do. So much we're trying to do, and we need a lot of funds to execute those things. And it's a very, very tough one. Somebody is talking about somebody wants to invest $50 million. So I believe strongly Mr. Ikena is good at those things. You see, some of this investment, Stella, I get your message. I'll give you an example. People always also think that we are fools. We had a guy one time, you remember his Ikena, that wanted to invest how much self?
$40,000 last weekend.
No, not that one. I'm talking about the guy who wanted to invest some billions. When we eventually did our background check, right? He didn't have that money. And he was just trying to scam us. He wanted us to give them some bank documents, which in return, he can use those bank documents to go and be getting contracts.
That's true. That's true, sir.
And if he defaults on those contracts, guess who the banks will hold? They will hold us.
That's
right. So some of us, we meet people, they make all this noise, we want to invest $100 million. I have rejected a guy who wanted to invest $100 billion with us in Dubai. I had a meeting with him one-on-one. But I wasn't sure the source of his money was legit. My dad taught me a lesson in my, growing up. He said, "Ma tete lowo ko ba le lowo pe. Tete lowo ko ma ba lowo pe." Do not rush to be rich so that you can be rich for a longer time. Rush to be rich, and then the rest of your life will be in penury. I've come this far without staying, without having a bad name, because we have also been conservative, right? We have also been conservative. What we don't have, we will not spend. We move at our pace. My mentor will say, if you move at your pace, you will not lose your place. So if you grow up, you will stay up. If you jump up, you will come down. So for us, when people come, I want to do this investment, we have this money, we want to research. We want to be sure. First of all, the sources are good. It's not something that will come back and haunt us. But more importantly, that your intentions are also right. So, but trust me, Mr. Ikena is the president, and he has understanding about these whole things. Worked with the bank for years before, joining us. And if he says no, then it's no. There's nothing I can do. If he says yes, it's yes. Okay, so I understand you, Stella. But if Ikena doesn't approve it, there's nothing I can do. Remember, I've handed over the company to these people, right? So my own is to guide, give advice, and make sure they make profits so that I can have. I'm not an investor like you people too. The only difference is that I founded the company. Okay, so we are co-investors, all of us here. So I'm not longer into active running of the day-to-day of our companies anymore. We now have 7 CEOs, and I need to stay back so that they can run the business, they can grow their confidence, and be able to run the organization. If you hand over companies to people and you are still interfering, okay, in their affairs, and you don't let them grow, and everybody's also coming to you, coming behind the back, and that's not how companies run. So they run it. Adam Stella, work with him. If you still believe the source of that $50 million is real, let them provide whatever the president is asking for. We are open to business. as long as is ROI we're giving you. We're not yet ready to give equity yet. But if it's ROI you want, we're willing to do that. If it's joint venture you want, we have land. We'll give you the land, you build on it. After a while, you make your money, you give us back. We're willing to do with those kind of opportunities, okay? So are we happy? Existing investors, are we happy? And are we ready for number 4? Number 4, we are working on a points program. We haven't perfected it yet, but in the next couple of months, it will be ready. I hope our president works hard on this. The app coming up is the first thing. Then the point program, you know, Farouk has gone far on it. It's just to integrate it. The point program means that for every money you spend with us, you get a point. And you can then have a card that you can then use this card anywhere in the world. Hotels, airlines, spa, treatments, you know, and so on and so forth. So with these points, you can use the points anywhere in the world to enjoy yourself and have a great time. So this is one major thing we're also doing. So it's a points reward program where you can use your points. You can even use your point to buy more investments. You can use your point to buy house, to buy land with us. If it's up to that number, you can use your points, redeem your points in form of training courses that we do, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the good news that we have. Now, how many intending investors are here? Let me even see. You've been saying, what do we have for intending investors? How many of you want to invest now? And again, I'm not in for, I want to invest, I will talk to you tomorrow. Anybody who knows me, my promos, my discount, my offer. Also, we have opened up our 5 million option. You know, normally you have to invest minimum 20 million. Now you can invest as low as 5 million or 10 million with our Gvest. But this is till 31st, I think. Is ending on 31st. After that, it goes back to minimum of 20 million. I love you all, and I want to thank you for being part of today's webinar. I hope you learned a thing or two. Sorry, my session is short. I love you all. God bless you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen.